Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and inspireddisorder.com/audible.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Palm Springs, a new comedy out on Hulu now, starring Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. Independent movie. Apparently, it blew up. One of the highest purchased movies coming from Sundance. A movie I was looking forward to. Not only, the premise seemed interesting, kind of the Groundhog Day type of a movie, but more of a rom-com. And also the location, Palm Springs. Grew up out in the Coachella Valley, which Palm Springs is a part of. Palm Springs is like the bigger of the more well-known of the cities. Very unique architecture, very unique location, very unique people. So I was looking forward to seeing Palm Springs in a movie. It is named Palm Springs, so why wouldn't there be Palm Springs in a movie with the name? And one thing that this movie did was disappoint on the level of showing anything related to Palm Springs. It seemed like it was filmed about an hour away from Palm Springs, in like Joshua Tree or Yucca Valley or something like that. At no point, there wasn't even any B-roll. Like, they could have at least, there's so many scenes whenever they leave. Like, the location, it's basically they're out in the desert is one location, which looks nothing like anywhere in Palm Springs, but could have been easily a piece of desert out in Palm Springs. So many locations. And then the other location is like some random bar. And then there's this house where the wedding takes place, which the house where the wedding takes place could have easily been just a house in Palm Springs. But then there's scenes like when they leave the house, all those B-roll shots could have easily been locations on like Palm Canyon Drive, on the main strip. It's just B-roll of Palm Springs would have at least tied the actual location known as Palm Springs in the world, the place, the location, Palm Springs, that Hollywood royalty would come out to visit and escape the bullshit of Hollywood back in the day. Even current day Hollywood stars frequently come out and vacation out in Palm Springs. Gay pride, it's huge LGBTQ community out in Palm Springs. Like, there's so much, and nothing is at all like touched upon or referenced or seen in any way, even in B-roll. They will do B-roll in this movie. There's B-roll of one of the characters drives to Austin, Texas, drives through Arizona, through New Mexico, through most of Texas to get back to Austin, Texas, and they show a scene. There's a quick B-roll scene, pulls up to Welcome to Texas. Like, at least they showed that she was driving to Texas, and then later referenced the fact that she drove home to Austin. There's a scene where J.K. Simmons is from Irvine, and in the characters, there's a scene that takes place at his home in Irvine. The houses in the neighborhood look like something you would see in Irvine. They actually mention the word in the city, Irvine. I don't think anywhere in this movie that's titled Palm Springs, one, I don't think any character ever utters the words Palm Springs. And there's no reference, no visual or any kind of reference whatsoever that they're actually in Palm Springs. They could have called this movie Salton Sea, and it would have been just as accurate. They could have called it the High Desert. Then it would have been actually accurate, because it pretty much looks like it was taking place in the high desert. You could have called it Joshua Tree. Could have called it Yucca Valley. You could have called it a lot of things, but Palm Springs is a name that I don't know. I don't understand why they would even name a movie something that has zero to do and is referenced zero in this movie. However, I loved this movie. The fact that it's named completely wrong is whatever. I still really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the premise. I enjoyed the acting. Samberg, of course, this is more, I would say, more of a toned down Samberg than normal. But I love him in all of the movies that he's kind of been in. I don't know if there's one of his that I have seen that I didn't like. I think as far as like kind of a comedic leading man, I think he's taken the kind of torch from Will Ferrell a bit, because I mean Will Ferrell's last movie, the Eurovision movie, was a big stinker. Some people liked it, but I'm kind of over his. I'm a 60-year-old man playing a young person. Like, I don't know. There's that was one of the big misses of his career that I just did not like. However, this movie is amazing. Of course, I said it's a Groundhog Day kind of infinite time loop. Also, similar movie would be Happy Death Day, which I liked the first Happy Death Day. Did not like the sequel, Happy Death Day 2. Was not as good. But as far as that genre of movie, the infinite kind of time loop genre, this one I would say is a great addition to that. It touches on all of the kind of deep ideas and thoughts and realities that would come with living the exact same day over and over again, which in a lot of ways we are doing, some of us who still acknowledge the fact and the reality of viruses, and aren't pretending like the pandemic is just over because people are starting to open up. Like my specific day is pretty much the exact same day over and over again, except for Sundays when I record this show, are a little bit different. But most days are very different, and movies like this can show like the potential you have to do completely different things in a day. Like you can live a completely different life within a day, and it kind of shows that. I mean, like in Groundhog Day is very similar in this one, where the Andy Samberg's character gets to know everybody at the wedding. I mean, these are kind of like subtly referenced. It's not used to the same effect as Groundhog Day necessarily. It's just more of him being able to manipulate his day depending on what he feels like doing that day. And then Kristen, which, let me see their character names real quick here. Nyles and Siara, and then J.K. Simmons plays Roy. So Nyles ends up tricking Roy one partied out night, tricking Roy to go into, like, there's this time warp thing that appears after an earthquake in this rock formation, and if you go in it, then you get stuck in this time loop. And then also, if you die, you wake up, or if you go to sleep, you wake up the next day. And there's a running theme that the worst thing that can happen would be to not die in an ICU. Would just be writhing in pain in an ICU, waiting for the next day to start. Is the hell that exists in this world. Like, as long as if you're going to kill yourself or if you're going to die, as long as you make sure you finish the job, you'll be okay. But if you don't finish the job, then you're going to experience all of the pain that comes along with surviving a traumatic car crash or whatever it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I think this movie definitely would have benefited from actually being set in Palm Springs, aside from just being able to see Palm Springs in a movie, which is amazing that it's not at all. I think that it would have lent itself to interesting characters. Like this one, the only people aside from the wedding party, like there's this bar, this desert biker bar kind of thing, that is a location that gets visited on numerous occasions, and it's just like generic biker bar. It's like this could have been so much more of an interesting movie. It would have given them, like, they could have gone into different locations around Palm Springs to do their hijinks, but it was mostly done in the desert, which is fine. It would be like calling a movie the Las Vegas Strip, but you're like filming out in the desert and you never see the Strip. Why would you even call it that? Why would you call it that? or calling a documentary The Amazing Jonathan documentary, and then not making a documentary about The Amazing Jonathan. Rather, you just make a documentary about how difficult it is to make a documentary when other people are trying to do the same thing, and you just feel pushed out, and it's all about you instead of the subject that the documentary is titled after. I don't like that. I don't like that when movies do that, but despite all of that, I really enjoyed this movie. It's gotten a lot of love online, and it's not surprising at all. Aside from anybody that's ever been to Palm Springs or grew up out here or visited, I mean, a lot of people visit Palm Springs, and none of them will recognize anything in this movie aside from just desert, which is fine. Palm Springs is just desert to these people. That's fine. Call it something else, though. It would be nice. They could even call this Live, Die, Repeat, which is another kind of Groundhog Day-esque movie. Since that movie, I forget what the original title, maybe that was the original title, because that was a movie where they changed titles halfway. But anyway, I don't even think you see palm trees in this movie called Palm Springs. You see Joshua trees more. You see a lot of Joshua trees. Anyway, it's still a good movie. It's out now on Hulu. Go check it out for free. You don't have to rent it. It's really fun. And yeah, I mean, you're going to like it, despite the fact that I have a problem with the name and how easily it could have been remedied by just maybe shooting a few B-roll things. Show a sign. Show, like, Takowitz Canyon. Show the Palm Springs Airport. Show the tramway. I don't know. Show any part of Palm Springs whatsoever. But no. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Station House Coffee, on Instagram at stationhousecoffee.com for premium coffee, single origin, small batch coffee, brewed in Vermont, shipped directly to you. Go support small business and order yourself some amazing premium coffee now over at stationhousecoffee.com, and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. Also, get 2 free audiobooks with Audible when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. Audible is the #1 purveyor of audiobooks. They have original content and all kinds of different stuff as well for your ear holes. So if you want 2 free audiobooks, go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. I would recommend getting The War of Art is an amazing book, and anything by Tim Ferriss is also a great read. Or Bert Kreischer's book, Life of the Party. That one's good. He reads that one. So get both of those books for free if you want over at inspireddisorder.com/audible. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Peace out!